part two. Okay. Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas.
Hi, I'm Jackie Pellegrin.
And welcome to Coaching 101. Coaching 101 is created to empower coaching itself. So, Miss Jackie, another week, another great episode for sure. How are you,
Yes,
partner?
doing good. Keeping busy at work, but it's a job. It's a job, so I love doing it. At least I love it. Next month, actually, around this time, I'm gonna be at my place at my job 12 years. So I've been doing the same job for 12 years. Yeah.
Congratulations, partner.
Thanks.
Congratulations for being 12 years. It's something else. Meant to say,
Yes.
wow, you love what you're doing,
Yes, I
right?
do. Yes, I love working with the faculty. I love working with the college, and so yeah, it's really neat. They keep telling me, please don't go anywhere because you're that type of I've known this for so long, and I've been ingrained in it for so long that if I was to leave, it's that kind of thing where if you really have value in a company, when you go to leave, some of that goes with you, right? You can't leave it behind. So it's like that iceberg effect, right? You have all this
Mhm.
stuff on the surface, but then you have everything underneath that's unseen, right? That's the intrinsic part that oftentimes when when an employee leaves a company, the employer loses out. So try to keep your employees as long as you can because that's so
Sure,
important. Yes.
sure. I have a guest on Book 101 Review. He's a doctor and as well as entrepreneur, and he's promoting this product that he created. And I asked the question, if your product or your being entrepreneur is more giving you more green pasture than your profession right now, would you like to concentrate on being entrepreneur or to be doctor? And he said, I want to be a doctor, even I'm successful at being entrepreneur because this is the first job that I love the most.
Mm.
See the passion. If you love your what you're doing, people, even you're tired, you have a dedication to do it and do it and do it again because you love it.
Yes. Right.
You're having
Absolutely.
fun.
Hmm.
Just like we are doing with Miss Jackie, we are having six podcasts. So do you mean that we are happy of what we're doing. We have passion of what we are doing.
Right.
So
Hmm.
people, we are encouraging you, if you have the passion to do something that you love best, please share to the world and build your legacy as we talk about on Bible verses 101.
Hmm.
So partner, what will be our topic for today on Coaching 101?
Yes, this is a good one. I'm really excited to talk about this one. It's called Why People Get Stuck and How Coaching Helps. So, the question I put at the beginning of this is, why do people stay stuck even when they know what they need to do? So there's multiple reasons, right? Why people get stuck. It doesn't always mean they're lazy or unmotivated, because I think sometimes we tend to kind of prejudge and think that, oh, that person's lazy or something like that, but or they're unmotivated. But sometimes it can be I've experienced this: overthinking, fear, confusion, procrastination. We were talking about that earlier. Procrastination, and just emotional exhaustion. So, and they know what to do, but they're just unable to act emotionally. So there could be a lot going on that the coach just needs to uncover, and just not make assumptions with that. So yeah.
Definitely why people get stuck and how coaching helps them.
Hmm.
That's fantastic topic indeed, Miss Jackie. So why or what psychological or emotional patterns most commonly cause individuals to feel stuck in their personal or professional lives?
Yes, I think sometimes, I think, as I mentioned just briefly there with the fear, I think fear can be probably the number one thing. Fear, if they move forward with something, what's going to happen, or if they don't act, it's just like, yeah, they're kind of stuck between something, right? On two
Mm-hmm.
lines, right? Either I do it, or or I don't. I tend to overthink things sometimes, and people that I know well will bring that up, and they're like, "Just Jackie, don't overthink this. Just make a decision, follow through with it." And I'm like, "You're right. I do. I tend to overanalyze, and that's one of my one of the things I know that I need to work on. And patience is another one of my. We all have our things that we're not that are our weaknesses that we know we need to work on, and we're aware of that. So yeah, so when I find myself overthinking something, and it's not that I don't want to make a decision, it's just that I'm thinking about all the different things in my head that could go wrong, and I'm like, oh, Jackie, stop doing that. So yeah, so I have to really move past that and just go, okay. So usually I'll talk to someone about it, and I'll say, okay, here's what I'm trying to accomplish, but I'm getting stuck here, and then they're like, okay, well, so they'll kind of talk me through it and things like that, and I'm like, okay, that's better. So it's nice to know you can you can have people in your life that you can talk to about those things, whether it's your coach or it's a trusted friend or a loved one or something like that that you can talk to about that as well.
Definitely, people several well documented that psychological and emotional patterns contribute. I think the experience of feeling stuck often by disrupting decision making, motivation, and forward movement. Mm,
Yeah.
interesting. And as Miss Jackie talking about fear based avoidance and procrastinate.
Oh yes, that's a big one. Yep.
Big one. So,
Right.
how do limiting belief and internal narrative shape one person inability to move forward, Miss
Mm.
Jackie?
Right. I think sometimes, it can be something that can go back to even childhood, maybe an experience that someone had, a traumatic, it could be, it doesn't even have to be a traumatic experience, but just maybe something that they experienced when they were a child and that keeps following them wherever they go. And so, yeah, it's kind of tough because then, sometimes they can have a hard time moving forward with that if they experience something and then something else reminds them of that as an adult. So yeah, it's hard because sometimes they may have not gotten proper counseling or something like that in the past, and so then it bleeds over into other things, and including any coaching that they're doing and things like that. So sometimes those things will cross over, so it's important to know that if there's anything in the past that's hindering the current and the future goals that they have, it's important to get to that. But then also the coach, as we've talked about before, right, there's a scope of practice limitations. So if there's something, a mental um, issue that's going on, if they have something like anxiety or depression or something like that, and the coach uncovers that, and they know that they feel that the individual does need that counseling and that additional uh, support there, then they should refer out and refer that client to get that professional help in that way as well.
Certainly, people limiting belief that internal narrative shape, let's say, person's inability to move forward by acting as a cognitive filters and distort perception, restrict behavior, and reinforce stagnation. So, Miss Jackie, in what ways can fear or failure, success, or judgment act as an invisible barrier to progress?
Hmm. Oh, that's such a good question because I've been through that myself. Um,
Likewise.
yeah, so several times before. Yeah, so I think it's important to recognize where that fear is coming from and look at the source of that fear, because oftentimes fear will lead to procrastination, right? Because you have a fear of moving forward because of something or doing something, and then if you have that fear, it paralyzes you, right? And so you're not going to want to do something, and so you end up procrastinating and not doing it. So it can be debilitating at times, and I've had that happen before. Now I wasn't in coaching, but I was in counseling, and I mentioned to my counselor what I was going through at that time, and so she says, yeah, it's kind of like driving. If you get in an accident, you're you're not going to want to go and drive again right away, right? So if you get into an accident on the freeway, you're not going to want, most people will not want to jump on the freeway again. They want to build back up to that. But sometimes it can be hard, right, to do that if you had that happen. So she said you just have to take those baby steps and build back up to that. So I think if you're facing a fear of some type, yeah, so figure out what the core of that fear is. And if you need professional help to get past that, then I think that's important to do that as well.
Well said, Miss Jackie. A few whether of failure, success, or judgment act as an invisible barrier to progress by altering perception, suppressing action, and reinforcing avoidance behaviors. Fear people, there's a lot things to consider. So remove your fear. Just let it be. Because life is like that. Fear is something that give your body to saying that you will be safe if you have that fear, right?
Right.
It's part of your brain that producing fear so that you will be safe in accordance of what you are doing. But fear is not always safe for you. Sometimes it leads you to stuckness. So, Miss Jackie, why do high performing individuals sometimes experience stagnation despite having skills, resources, and opportunities?
Mm. Oh, that's a good question. I'm thinking of like my position where I'm at right now, and I'm in a leadership role. I'm not a manager. I don't have that title of a manager or a leader, but I'm in that position where I mentor others, and I'm able to, whenever we have new hires come on board, I'm part of that process, and I'm on multiple committees within my department, and I also have, that impact not only on my department but other departments and the university as a whole. So I think sometimes high impact individuals, when they know they have that much leverage, right, and that much of an impact, sometimes that can bring you to a point where a lot of people are relying on you to get the job done, and once they know you can do something well, they go to you again and again, right? And sometimes, like I was talking about earlier, I have a lot going on at work right now, and I'm being pulled in so many different directions. So sometimes I get burned out, and I'm just like, whew, I need a break, it's time to take a break. So
I need
I
a
think,
break. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think that's where the stagnation, or sometimes something where you just feel stuck, can come in, because you keep going and going. And as they say, if you're running on empty, right, if you don't have enough gas in the tank per se, as they talk about, then you can't have that fuel to move forward, and you can't serve others in the best way possible. So I think taking care of ourselves by getting enough sleep, by eating well, by exercising, right, doing all those things really help in having that balance, because I think then we don't get stuck as often. And if you feel like you're at a point where you're stuck, then if you feel like you can go to your manager or your supervisor or something like that and talk to them about what's going on, then I think that's important, and see if you can get, it's okay to ask for help. I know some organizations I've worked for, it's not as easy to do that, but if you do have that opportunity, take advantage of it when you can, and reach out for help when you can. I think that helps, because then you won't feel that sense of being stuck. And yeah, because high performing people, yeah, they can get that too. It's not always things aren't always going to move forward in a smooth manner. So it's hard. You can face those challenges sometimes, but yeah, I think there's different things that you can do to help move past that as well.
Yes. People,
Hmm.
it's okay not to be okay. Ask for help if you need help.
Right.
That's the process of life. No one is an island. We need each other. High
Hmm.
performing individuals often experience stagnation not because of their lack of ability, but because the very factors that once drove their success begin in constraint further growth for better success for sure. So, Miss Jackie, how does lack of clarity or direction contribute a prolonged inaction or decision?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think when you don't have clarity on where you're going or what you're doing, or you don't have clear goals, I think that can, yeah, that can be hard. It can muddy things, and you don't, and you're gonna keep getting stuck, right? You're gonna keep. It's almost like you're trying to go forward, but just keep hitting this brick wall, and you're like, why do I keep falling down, right? What's going on here? And you get back up again, and then yeah, you keep hitting a brick wall. So yeah, so I think it's important to recognize when that's happening, to maybe take a step back and take some inventory and see, okay, why is this happening? Why do I keep hitting barriers, and why do I keep getting stuck? Because I think if we can do that, we can, and then if we need to pivot, and that's okay too. I think sometimes that makes things better when we can do that, and then it helps us move past that.
Yes, to pivot indeed, bouncing back, definitely.
Hmm.
And people lack of clarity or direction contributes the prolonged inaction and decision by removing the cognitive structures needed for effective decision making and action. You need to have a vision and mission in life. Once you have those, you have straight goals. Definitely, you are not a crooked, you're straight line that you are aiming for those clarity to be successful in life. So, Miss Jackie, what roles does accountability play in breaking cycles for these are favorite procrastination and self
Mm,
sabotage?
right. Yes, I think accountability is important, because if you don't have that accountability, then yeah, you're going to fall behind on your goals or anything that you're trying to accomplish, right? So um, even if it's not a person, most of the time people want to have another person they're accountable to, and that's important. Like for example, losing weight, you can have somebody that you're accountable to say, okay, I'm heading to the gym, or you go to the gym with someone, right? Because that helps you to stay accountable to that. And then you don't procrastinate and say, "Oh, I'm too tired tonight. I'll just go tomorrow." Well, as the saying goes, tomorrow never comes, right? So you have to just do it,
Tomorrow
right?
never dies.
Exactly. So, something like that, or setting up reminders on your phone or something like that. That helps too. Or any project that you're working on to keep you moving forward, you can put reminders, on your calendar. Or like me, I use Trello all the time. That's good for project management. There's other tools out there too. So just find what works for you and use that tool, or have that individual that you can say, you're my accountability partner, and I'm going to stay accountable to you. And then once you do that over a certain period of time, it becomes a habit, right? So, and then that habit just kind of gets embedded in your daily life. It's like brushing your teeth or something like that. You do that every day, and it becomes habit. So yeah, so I think that's a way to do it, is just find the system, or find the person that can be your accountability partner, and help you with that, so you don't procrastinate.
Mm, yes. A while ago, Miss Jackie and I talking about procrastination
Hmm.
and the other one, motivation.
Yes.
When procrastination and motivation hit you, where do you go? Especially if you are what lots of things to do. Like Miss Jackie and I, we're doing a lot of things every day, but
Right.
because of I think there's one key. If procrastination and motivation are gone, and the procrastination is present, I think discipline is the number one ingredient to accomplish something. If you have the discipline, even of the two are present in your body, well, definitely, even you are lazy, even you are not motivated, this is what you do every day. You need to do it because you have a goals that you need to accomplish every day. Miss Jackie have a Trello that okay, these are the topics that we need to do. These are the things that I need for this week. So good thing I need to do that Trello too, so that it will more organized and more better for sure, more efficient. So, Miss Jackie, to wrap up our discussion for today, what long-term mindset shift occur when someone moves from being stuck to becoming consistently proactive and growth-oriented?
Oh, I think that's good. I think one thing, yeah, what we can do is, um, we can stop. I think what we need to do is stop judging ourselves or being harsh with ourselves, because I think oftentimes when we get stuck, we look for the reason why, and sometimes we often are harsh on ourselves, right? And we beat
True.
ourselves up about it. So I think and just start understanding what's really holding you back. And I think once you do that, like I mentioned, once you get to the core of it, to the heart of it, I think that will really help. And I think, but at that time, then once you recognize it and address it, then you can move forward and become unstuck.
Yes, and give grace to yourself. Give grace
Yes.
because that's the number one ingredient to be successful in life. Don't be hard to yourself. Give grace. Give something else. Celebrate wins in small things. And when the transition is feeling stuck, becoming consistently proactive and growth oriented is shift not just behavioral. It's a fundamental cognitive identity base, that will lead you to something else. Okay, Miss Jackie, we have a great episode for this week. To wrap up our
Yes.
discussion for today, what can you say about our topic in general?
Yes, I think it's so important to look to Hebrews and see what. I'm sorry. Oh, that's Bible verses. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm starting to get them mixed up. I was looking at my Trello board and I saw Bible verses. Oh my goodness. And I said that. Wow.
No
Okay.
worries, Miss Jackie. No
So
worries. Need
yeah.
to say we are, we are human. We are not
Yes.
AI. In the world of AI, in the world of AI, we need authenticity. And
Right.
one
We're
of the key,
authentic.
we are
Yeah.
truly authentic.
Right.
And thank God we are human.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I think what you just said about being graceful towards ourselves, and also being graceful towards those that are helping us too. And when it comes to the coaches and things like that, they're human as well. And so
Yes.
they're going to make mistakes, but at the end of the day, they're trying to help you move forward and try to help you reach your goals. So just take one step at a time. I think that's the best thing we can do, is take one step at a time. Don't try to eat the elephant, right, in one bite, as you say.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't eat the elephant in one bite. Step by step. You will be overwhelmed.
Yes.
What you gonna do first? You cannot swallow the elephant.
Right.
It's bigger than you.
Exactly. When I was a kid in school, I used to get so overwhelmed because I'd have, all my subjects with homework, and
uh,
and my mom could tell because I would bite my pencil and I would clench my teeth, right? Bite my nails. She's like, "Jackie, okay." So she sat me down at my desk in my room when I was a kid, and she's like, "Okay, tell me, what homework do you have?" And I said, "I have homework in English. I have homework in that." She's like, "Okay, which one do you want to work on first, or which one's the most important?" I'm like, "Okay, English. I got to work on this paper." She's okay. Take your math homework, take all your other homework, put it aside, and then just work on your English homework. And then when you get that done, then you move on to the next one. But if you try to think of 5 things you have to do all at one time, you're just going to get overwhelmed, and that's going to work. So I take that even into work as well. So
mhm.
yeah, so that was a good lesson my mom taught me. Moms are great. I love moms because they do a good
Yes,
job. Mhm.
definitely. People moving from being stuck is to becoming proactive and growth oriented. It's not about a single breakthrough, but about sustained shift mindset, identity, and behavior. As Miss Jackie saying, do it one by one. Okay, people, one by one, not be overwhelmed. And celebrate your small wins because it will help you. It will grace to yourself. It will give you something more that you are important. It will give your body that You need to strive more because you're aiming for the best of the best, whatever you are aiming for the goals itself. So, Miss Jackie, would you like to plug in something?
Sure. So we have 6 podcasts right now. We have this one that we're doing, Coaching 101. We have Bible Verses 101. Then we have Current Events 101. We normally do those on Saturday, but we're doing things a little bit different this week. And then
Yes.
we have AI 101, Tech 101, and Mystery Stories 101. And so, yeah, those are not quite out yet, but we're getting there. So, yep.
We're getting there, people, because we are a podcast machine. We we originated to one, Miss Jackie and I, thinking of podcasts that give you more information that will help you through your everyday life, like Bible Verses 101. It will empower your spirituality. Coaching 101 will, well, if you're coaching to be a parent, why not? Being a parent is having no manual at all. So you need to do a trial and error. It's just a matter of experimenting what is good for your children. But if you have a home-based Bible or you are a spiritual human person, for sure, you will be a good parent because you know what is good and right according to the Bible itself. So it all connected to what we are talking about, and of course, current events. We love current events. Current events was started because Miss Jackie and I we're always talking about current events. And said, why we not do a podcast? I said yes. So we did it again. We're live every Saturday. Not Friday, I should say, but we did it different for this week. But every Friday we are live by AI 101, Tech 101, and Stories. Mystery Stories.
Mystery Stories 101. Yep.
Yes.
You got
Those
it.
podcasts, those 4 podcasts is not yet available on podcast because we are, well, earning more episodes that we will publish every day. Sooner or later, it will be available wherever you listen your podcast. But our Coaching 101, Bible Verses 101, is available wherever you listen your podcast. So if you don't like our podcast, our live streaming, you can also listen to us to Live 365 under the Universal Podcast Network, as well in in UK Radio Talks. So the same under Universal Podcast Network. So Miss Jackie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for joining us and keep learning.
Welcome, people. See you soon. I think